What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another predicted lineup video as Spurs face West Ham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Very much looking forward to it. It's definitely going to produce some fireworks on and off the pitch. Stellini's been taking the press conference as Antonio Conte is going to take extended time off for recovering from his surgery. And what is the team news, Sim?
Yeah, so there are no new injuries from the last game. So we know Lloris is injured for the time being. We're going to be 5 to 7 weeks. We know Bissouma. The club haven't confirmed yet, but we've heard that he's going to be out between 2 to 3 months. Bentancur's out for the rest of the season, and Sessegnon has about another 5 weeks left on his injury. So a lot of long-term injuries, but yeah, Højbjerg returns from suspension. All
right, so one back. 4 to go. Let's go on to the predicted lineup. 3-4-3 formation as per usual, and as we said, Hugo Lloris is out for a number of weeks, so Fraser Forster will get the nod once again.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be very important in this game because one of the main avenues for West Ham too that they like to attack is set pieces, and that's one thing Forster excels at more than Hugo Lloris, I feel. It's coming for crosses and being commanding in the opponent's box. So hopefully he's in for a good game. Obviously a lot less in the game than he was against Leicester, where he was maybe pretty poor. But hopefully he has a good game this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're actually right. I think he's going to be so important from the set pieces and being commanding in the box, which we know is one of his strengths. So let's hope this is a game that can suit Fraser Forster. On the right wing back, we're going to give Pedro Porro the nod for this one, as we think that his attacking value could really be added here.
Yeah, I think so. I think in this game, West Ham will probably give control to Tottenham, especially with the likes of Paqueta being injured for them. I don't see them coming into this game thinking they're going to dominate the ball. With Emerson playing for the West Ham's Emerson playing on the left-hand side, and also they've got a makeshift back three. You've got to feel like if they're going to be sitting deep, you want players who can make a difference in the final third. And I think it's time for Porro to maybe get a second crack of the whip after a disappointing debut, but you don't want him to kind of, what's the word, kind of go on, like the longer he goes on without playing, the more that
question marks. Yeah,
so yeah, he just thinks about it a bit more. You want him back on that pitch and get out of his mind, and a home debut with the crowd behind him, I think is a good time.
Yeah, and especially with this next man alongside him as well, I think it'll do him the world of good with Cuti Romero at right centre back.
Yeah, and he's had some good tussles with Antonio before, and I think it's going to be crucial in this game that he's on the front foot and make sure Antonio doesn't get the supply. And we know Benrahma likes to cut inside as well on that left-hand side, so he's going to have to watch out for him for sure. But yeah, I think hopefully he should be up to it. He loves a good derby as well, Romero.
Of course he does, and he's definitely going to bring that shithouse mentality with him into this game, which will be very much needed. Alongside him in the centre of the centre-back trio will be Eric Dyer, we believe.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have his work out. I always feel like if West Ham are able to play the ball early on a counter-attack, and a bit like when Man City won the penalty against Arsenal, when they play that ball early to Haaland, and then Gabriel brings him down because he just got bullied, and then obviously was offside. But I'm worrying those kind of situations, Dyer up against Antonio, just a long ball over the top, and with the time it takes for the ball to come down, they can tussle, and Antonio can win that physical battle. So we've got to make sure that those not too many occasions that occurs, but hopefully if we can dominate the ball, Dyer with his passing ability can make a difference.
All right, and then to make up that back three, Longley was in for the Champions League, so we think Ben Davis is going to be getting the nod for this one. And
to be fair, Longley didn't do too badly, but I think Davis is better suited with the physicality in this game, so we're going to go for Davis.
And then to make up that back five, Ivan Perisic, the only option there at left wing back, he's going to get the nod again, and I do fear for him coming up against Bowen in this game.
He is coming up against Bowen, but I think hopefully we will restrict the supply to Bowen, and maybe it won't be so much of an issue. It's all about making sure Rice can't dictate things, and hopefully from set pieces he can make the difference.
All right, so let's run through that back line with you guys one more time. It's Fraser Forster in goal, Pedro Porro right wing back, Ivan Perisic left wing back, Romero, Dyer and Davis make up that middle three. Let's move on to the midfield now with Rodrigo Bentancur and Yves Bissouma out. We're putting Pape Matar after his masterclass in the San Siro. Come on, big Papa.
Yeah, and we know that Conte trusts him because he started him in North London derby when could have started Bissouma in that game. So Sarr definitely has the trust of the management team. was brilliant in the San Siro, and I think hopefully he carries on his performances against West Ham. He's going to have his work cut out in a very physical battle against the likes of Rice and Souček, but I thought he showed against AC Milan how physical he can be, and with his number of tackles he makes, and he's got boundless energy. So I'm excited to see him again.
Yeah, and alongside him is going to be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, back from suspension, missed out the game in the San Siro. So hopefully the week rest will do him the world of good.
Yeah, we see sometimes when he plays too many games, he can be a bit leggy. So hopefully the break will have done him good. And we saw against Man City how good he was in that game, and hopefully he can continue that kind of form.
Yeah, absolutely right. So that's a double pivot of Højbjerg and Pape Matar Sarr. Moving on to the attack on the right-hand side, Dejan Kulusevski has been poor since the return of his injury. Hopefully he can step it up this game.
Yeah, didn't have a great night at the San Siro. Didn't play well against Leicester either. Doesn't seem as sharp as he was. I think he had a little period before the World Cup, didn't he, when he came back into the team and was looking good after the injury. And then since the World Cup, he picked up another little niggle. And since then, he hasn't quite been himself. So maybe he's still carrying something. If he is, I would give Danjuma the nod, because he just hasn't looked at his sharpest. But hopefully, if it's nothing serious, maybe he's overcome it. And if he's ready to play, I'll play him. So we're going to put him in.
Now here's the big one on the left-hand side. A lot of people calling for Heung-min Son potentially to come out the team after his poor displays all season, and we think that is going to happen with Richarlison getting the nod on the left-hand side.
Yeah, obviously Conte has persisted with Son throughout the season. I'm just feeling, with the fact that we've played 2 games this week, a bit of rotation in the squad for me is needed to keep up those energy levels. And I think Son's a prime candidate. Richarlison, we paid 60 million for him. There's no reason why he shouldn't get a run in this team. And I think Sunday could be a good opportunity for him.
Yeah, I really think so as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Sonny being thrown straight back in there as well. But I really hope it is Richarlison that's given the nod. It might give us a different dimension to our attack as well. But let's move on to the final guy in the team, and that's obviously going to be Harry Kane up top. Yeah, and he loves the goal in the London derby.
He does, absolutely loves his London derbies. I still think even in the games where he played badly, he's probably been one of the better attacking players anyway, even in those games. And with West Ham missing some crucial defenders, hopefully he'll see this as an opportunity to get the better of some of them physically. So it's going to be a big game for Harry Kane.
Yeah,
and obviously there's going to be a mural for him, isn't it? Going to be a mural, is that the right word?
Oh, no, really. There's going to be a celebration of his like a tifo going up
that's
in
the right word.
In the
Sorry,
south stand saying Harry, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. He's going to be presented by Jimmy Greaves' wife and Ledley King before the game with a sort of trophy or something for his record. So brilliant stuff for Harry Kane this weekend. Very much looking forward to it. But let's run through that lineup with you guys one more time. Fraser Forster in goal, Pedro Porro right wing back, Romero right centre back, Eric Dyer in the central position with Ben Davis on the left, Ivan Perisic left wing back, Pape Matar Sarr and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the double pivot, with Kulusevski on the right flank, Richarlison on the left flank, and Harry Kane up top. If this is the predicted lineup, Sim, what is the predicted scoreline?
I'm going to go for 2-0. I think West Ham at the moment, they're very defensively solid. They're still not scoring many goals. A lot of them have come from set pieces. So if we can keep them out on those, I honestly think we should dominate the ball. And I don't know about whether creating lots of chances, but I think if we can just find some moments of quality, we should have the 3 points. So I'm going to go for 2-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very tight game, split by the odd goal. Our attacking line not really performing in the last couple of games. Hopefully they can get back at it again, but I think West Ham will provide a very stern opposition, stern test, and as they always do, they always turn up when we play them. So I think we'll get the 3 points, but it's going to be a very, very tight and edgy game. So I'm going 1-0 to Spurs. I want to know your predicted scorelines as well as your predicted lineups in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.